Transforming clay soil into a rich, well-draining potting mix requires a thoughtful combination of ingredients to enhance its structure, water retention, aeration, and nutrient content. Clay soil, while rich in minerals, is often dense and compact, making it difficult for plants to establish healthy root systems. The first and most important step in the transformation process is to address the soil's drainage issues. To do this, sand is added to break up the compactness of the clay. Sand provides the necessary bulk and creates air pockets that allow for better movement of water and oxygen, both of which are essential for healthy root development. The key here is to use coarse, sharp sand, as fine sand may worsen compaction rather than alleviating it. The recommended ratio is about 20 to 30% sand, depending on the severity of the clay soil's compactness, but this proportion should be adjusted based on the specific needs of the plants being grown. For plants that need drier conditions or well-draining soils, a higher percentage of sand may be beneficial, whereas for moisture-loving plants, slightly less sand might be necessary. Once the drainage issue is addressed, the next step is to focus on moisture retention, which is where cocoa peat comes into play. Cocoa peat, a sustainable byproduct of coconut husks, is an excellent addition because it retains moisture without becoming waterlogged. It also promotes proper aeration, ensuring that the soil remains loose and light, rather than becoming too dense and compact. Cocoa peat has a neutral pH, making it suitable for a wide range of plants, and it improves the water-holding capacity of the potting mix, especially important for plants that require consistent moisture. Mixing about 20 to 30% cocoa peat with the clay soil allows it to hold moisture without making the mix overly soggy, striking the right balance for optimal plant growth. The third ingredient to enhance the potting mix is carbonized rice hull, CRH, a lightweight, nutrient-rich material created by heating rice husks in a low-oxygen environment. This process, known as pyrolysis, results in a highly porous material that improves the structure of the soil, allowing for better air circulation and water movement. CRH also retains moisture while improving drainage, making it particularly valuable for container gardening. In addition to improving soil structure, CRH provides silica, which strengthens plant cell walls and promotes healthier root systems. The recommended proportion for CRH is around 10 to 15%, but this may vary depending on the specific needs of the plants you are cultivating. CRH is a perfect complement to cocoa peat, as it enhances the mix's ability to retain moisture while also improving soil aeration and root support. To begin the transformation process, you first need to loosen the clay soil. Use a garden fork, tiller, or shovel to break up the compacted clay and improve aeration. Once the soil is loosened, you can start incorporating sand, cocoa peat, and carbonized rice hulls, each of which will address a specific need in your potting soil mix. Start with the sand, as it plays a vital role in improving drainage. Sand particles are much larger than those in clay, and when mixed in, they help create air pockets, allowing water to move more freely through the soil and reducing the likelihood of waterlogging. It's essential to use coarse or sharp sand rather than fine sand, as fine sand can worsen drainage issues in clay. Add about 20 to 30% sand to your clay soil mix to ensure improved water movement and prevent the soil from becoming too compacted. Be cautious not to overdo the sand, as too much can make the soil too gritty and alter the balance needed for plant roots to thrive. Next, incorporate cocoa peat, also known as coir, to enhance the soil's texture and water retention properties. Cocoa peat is an organic material derived from coconut husks, and it's an excellent addition to potting soil because it lightens the mix, helping it hold moisture while still allowing for good aeration. Cocoa peat also helps with root development by providing a soft, fibrous texture. Typically, adding 20 to 30% cocoa peat to the mix will improve both the moisture retention and the overall structure of the soil, making it easier for roots to penetrate and grow. Cocoa peat also has the advantage of being environmentally friendly, as it's a renewable resource and a great alternative to peat moss. The third component is carbonized rice hulls, CRH, which are rice hulls that have been heated to high temperatures to create a porous, lightweight material. CRH improves the soil structure by adding bulk without making the mix too heavy, similar to how perlite works. It helps with drainage and prevents the soil from becoming too compacted over time, as the tiny pores in the carbonized rice hulls create additional air pockets. CRH also has the benefit of being a slow-release source of nutrients, providing a steady supply of essential elements to plants as they grow. Adding about 15 to 20% carbonized rice hulls to your clay soil will help enhance drainage, aeration, and long-term soil health. After adding sand, cocoa peat, and carbonized rice hulls, mix everything thoroughly. Use a shovel or garden fork to ensure that all the ingredients are well distributed throughout the soil. You can also add organic matter such as compost or well-rotted manure if needed, to further enrich the soil with nutrients and beneficial microbes that promote healthy root growth. The ideal potting soil mix for containers would be approximately 40 to 50% clay soil, 20 to 30% sand, 20 to 30% cocoa peat, and 15 to 20% carbonized rice hulls. For garden beds, You might want to increase the amount of organic matter and adjust the proportions of sand and cocoa peat based on your specific needs. To test whether your potting mix is well balanced, take a handful of the soil mixture and squeeze it. It should crumble easily when you release your grip, indicating that it has the right texture for good root growth. If the mix holds together in a clump, it may need more coarse materials like sand or carbonized rice hulls to improve drainage. On the other hand, if it falls apart too easily, it may need more cocoa peat or organic matter to help retain moisture. Once you've mixed the ingredients thoroughly and tested the soil's texture, your newly transformed clay soil will be a much lighter, well-draining, and nutrient-rich potting mix. It will be perfect for supporting healthy plant growth, whether you're planting in containers, raised beds, or directly in the ground. By adding sand, cocoa peat, and carbonized rice hulls, you've created a balanced, moisture-retentive, and well-aerated environment that will allow plants to establish strong roots and thrive over time. Creating the best soil for gardening is an essential step in ensuring healthy plant growth, a flourishing garden, and a sustainable gardening practice. The right soil mixture provides the perfect balance of aeration, drainage, moisture retention, and nutrients, which are all key to supporting plants throughout their growing season. One of the most effective ways to create a high-quality, versatile soil for gardening is by combining compost, sandy soil, garden soil, cocoa peat, and carbonized rice hull, CRH. Each of these ingredients brings unique benefits to the soil, improving its texture, fertility, and overall health. The process of mixing these elements in the right proportions is both an art and a science, requiring an understanding of what plants need, as well as how soil structure impacts plant growth. This mixture will create a soil that is not only nutrient-rich but also loose, well-draining, and capable of holding enough moisture for plants to thrive, all while preventing common issues like root rot, compaction, or water stress. The first step in creating the best soil for gardening begins with garden soil, which forms the foundation of the mix. Garden soil typically has a well-balanced combination of minerals, organic matter, and microorganisms. However, on its own, it can be too dense, leading to poor drainage and aeration. To address this, sandy soil is introduced into the mix. Sandy soil is coarser and has larger particles than other types of soil, which creates larger spaces between soil particles. This promotes better drainage and air circulation, both of which are crucial for root health. By mixing in about 30 to 40% sandy soil, you ensure that the overall texture of the mix becomes looser and lighter, preventing it from becoming compacted or soggy. This is particularly important for plants that need well-draining soil to thrive, as excess water can quickly lead to root rot or fungal diseases. Sandy soil also helps balance the retention of water in the soil. So while water passes through more freely, there is still enough moisture for the plants to absorb. It's important to note that the sand used should be coarse rather than fine. Fine sand can make the soil more compact, exacerbating drainage issues rather than solving them. The proper mixture of garden soil and sand will give the soil an optimal texture for plant roots to grow deeply and access nutrients without suffocating or becoming waterlogged. Next, the addition of compost to the soil mixture is crucial for improving fertility and providing plants with the nutrients they need to grow vigorously. Compost is a form of decomposed organic matter, often made from kitchen scraps, garden waste, and other biodegradable materials. It is teeming with beneficial microorganisms, which help break down organic material and enrich the soil with vital nutrients. Adding compost improves the soil's overall structure, making it more cohesive while also enhancing its ability to retain moisture. Compost is particularly beneficial for sandy soils, which tend to drain water too quickly and lack sufficient nutrients. By incorporating about 20 to 30% compost into the mixture, you can add essential nutrients like nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium, which are all crucial for plant growth. Additionally, compost provides micronutrients like calcium, magnesium, and sulfur, which help with plant health and development. The presence of compost in the mix also enhances the soil's ability to support beneficial soil organisms, such as earthworms, which further improve soil health and structure. Compost also helps buffer the soil's pH levels, ensuring that it remains neutral or slightly acidic, which is ideal for most plants. The organic material in compost also creates a habitat for beneficial fungi and bacteria that help break down nutrients, making them more accessible to plants. The use of compost is, therefore, an excellent way to ensure that your soil is not only nutrient-rich but also biologically active, promoting a healthy, thriving garden environment. In addition to compost and garden soil, cocoa peat is an excellent ingredient to incorporate into the soil mixture. Cocoa peat, a byproduct of coconut husks, is an organic material that has gained popularity in gardening due to its remarkable ability to retain moisture while promoting excellent drainage and aeration. Cocoa peat is neutral in pH, making it suitable for most plants, and unlike peat moss, it is a renewable resource, which makes it more environmentally friendly. When mixed with compost, cocoa peat adds both moisture retention and aeration properties, creating an ideal growing environment. Cocoa peat can hold up to 10 times its weight in water, making it especially useful in arid climates or for plants that require consistent moisture. However, it doesn't hold onto water for too long, preventing the risk of overwatering or waterlogging. By adding about 20 to 30% cocoa peat to the soil mix, gardeners can ensure that their soil remains moist but not excessively soggy, providing plants with a steady supply of water over time. This balance is particularly important for container gardening or raised beds, where the soil is more prone to drying out. Cocoa peat also helps in breaking up heavy soils, improving their structure, and enhancing root development by providing spaces for air and water to move through. The inclusion of cocoa peat ensures that the soil retains nutrients and moisture more efficiently, making it more resilient during periods of drought or intense heat. Finally, carbonized rice hull, CRH, is a valuable addition to the soil mix, offering both structural and nutritional benefits. CRH is produced by heating rice husks in a low-oxygen environment, a process known as pyrolysis. The result is a highly porous material that is rich in carbon, silica, and other beneficial elements. CRH's porous nature helps to improve soil aeration, ensuring that plant roots receive adequate oxygen while also enhancing water drainage. It is particularly useful in preventing soil compaction, as its lightweight, fibrous texture helps keep soil loose and well-structured. In addition to improving aeration, CRH helps retain moisture without making the soil overly wet, providing plants with a consistent supply of water. This property is beneficial for gardening in areas with heavy rainfall or where soil drainage might be an issue. The addition of CRH also improves the soil's ability to hold onto nutrients, especially in sandy soils, which tend to lose nutrients more rapidly. By adding about 10 to 15% CRH to the mix, you create a soil that is not only well-draining and moisture-retentive, but also enriched with trace minerals and nutrients that promote robust plant growth. CRH also helps with the long-term health of the soil, as its high carbon content supports the growth of beneficial microbes and helps maintain soil fertility over time. Once these ingredients, garden soil, sandy soil, compost, cocoa peat, and carbonized rice hull, are mixed together, the resulting soil will be an excellent growing medium for a wide variety of plants. The combination of materials ensures that the soil is lightweight, well-draining, and nutrient-rich, with the perfect balance of moisture retention and aeration. The mixture will support healthy root growth, prevent waterlogging, and allow plants to access essential nutrients more easily. The soil will also be less prone to compaction, which can restrict root development and lead to poor plant health. This ideal gardening soil can be used in raised beds, garden plots, or containers, and it will support a diverse range of plants, from vegetables and herbs to flowers and shrubs. The key to creating the best soil for gardening lies in understanding the specific needs of your plants and adjusting the proportions of the ingredients accordingly. By regularly replenishing the compost and monitoring the soil's texture and fertility, gardeners can maintain a healthy, productive garden for years to come. Additionally, the addition of organic materials like compost and CRH will help improve the long-term sustainability of the soil, reducing the need for synthetic fertilizers and promoting a more eco-friendly gardening practice. Whether you are growing a vegetable garden, cultivating flowers, or simply improving the soil in your backyard, this well-balanced mixture of garden soil, sandy soil, compost, cocoa peat, and carbonized rice hull will provide the ideal foundation for plant growth, ensuring a lush and thriving garden that flourishes season after season.